Imagine this, one day, you're flying high. You've got the corner office, the power, the respect, and a contact list that looks like a Forbes list. The next day, you're a ghost. You're not just unemployed, you're erased. Your value, the thing you spent 20 years bleeding for, vanishes overnight, and the people you thought were your most loyal friends, they treat you like you have a highly contagious disease. This isn't just a story about a corporate firing. This is a terrifying, raw confession about the brutal reality of human nature and the life-saving rules I learned at my lowest point that will secure your financial freedom and protect you from the deepest form of betrayal. I was a director. Now I'm lower than a delivery boy. Here's the uncovered truth about who you really are when the money runs out. The anatomy of a fall and the false value of status. I started from nothing. Absolutely nothing, a truly mediocre background. No silver spoons, no inherited network, just pure relentless grind. I fought my way to the top, eventually landing the prestigious post of director at one of the country's top companies. That title was more than just a job, it was my armor, my shield, my entire social status. It validated every sleepless night and every missed family dinner. For years, I genuinely believed that my success meant I was loved, that I was respected, that I was safe. But let me tell you, your true actual value in the eyes of your social circle is only tested when you fall down. The moment that keycard stopped working, the moment the final email bounced back, that's when I realized the horrifying depth of the illusion. It hurts deeply, agonizingly, when you see the people you considered close ones suddenly ignoring you, masterfully avoiding your gaze as if they were trained spies. That pain, that profound sting of realization is a uniquely crushing experience you can only understand once you've lost everything. I look back now and I realize if I had only followed the millionaire mindset rules I'm about to share, the emotional shrapnel wouldn't have cut so deep. It's a life hack for surviving rock bottom. The haunted hallways, a rendezvous with undue depression. The early days of unemployment, confusion gave way to a desperate need for closure. I made what was, hands down, the single worst mistake I could have made during that entire miserable year. I decided to pay an uninvited visit back to my old company, the place where I was once king. I told myself it was for noble reasons, a few remaining documents, HR files, maybe a quick trip down memory lane to refresh old memories. But the truth is, I went there looking for validation, hoping anyone would acknowledge the man I used to be. The moment I walked through that lobby, a wave of sickening dread washed over me. I hadn't come for a moment of reflection. I had come to willingly buy undue depression and free. It was a self-inflicted wound. The staff, the faces that once lit up when I entered the room, were now masters of the quick, silent glance away. They acted like I was a complete stranger. But the most agonizing part, it was the staff I had personally trained. These were the young executives I had mentored, promoted, and invested in. Now they dealt with me with a coldness that felt utterly deliberate. Their demeanor was one of barely concealed pity and superiority, like a seasoned teacher condescending to the most incapable student in the class. I'm telling you, it was worse than the day I was fired. It felt like a public execution of my past self. I walked out of there a broken man, understanding immediately the first and most important rule of my downfall. Never ever make an uninvited visit to your old workstation or company. You only go back to witness the funeral of your former self. This is a hard-won corporate secret I'm sharing with you. The digital purge, canceled by the social circle. The betrayal wasn't confined to the polished marble of the office. It was widespread, silent, and digital. For years, I had cultivated a truly massive social circle in the digital arena. I was active in countless WhatsApp groups, maintained a huge Facebook friend list, and had an ever-expanding Instagram circle. In all these forums, I was the revered voice, the guiding light. I was venerated as a mentor. My opinion mattered. My posts were law. Then came the firing, and the social media purge was immediate. It felt like I was being canceled by the entire digital world. It wasn't a slow trickle, it was a sudden, sickening realization that the moment the title was stripped, I was simultaneously blocked by my social media friends as well. My generic photos, my basic posts, The ones that used to effortlessly bag thousands of likes, comments, and shares were now restricted to a number less than 100. And I truly believe those remaining 100 were just the slow ones. They were the few poor souls who were simply unaware of my setback yet. Otherwise, I'm convinced even those two would have gone. The unsolved mystery of it all is how quickly people can discard you when you no longer serve a purpose. Social media status is a complete lie. It's a fickle currency tied solely to your economic relevance. When you have money, they need your network. When you lose it, you're just clutter on their feed. This was the cold, disturbing truth of my digital betrayal. The wisdom lost. My aura evaporates in the club. My social life also revolved around the physical world, specifically the periodic meetups with school, college, and university fellows. These events were always held in upscale restaurants or exclusive clubs. In these environments, I wasn't just present, I was the guest of distinction. People would seek me out. My words weren't just conversation, they were taken to be very wise, effortlessly grabbing the audience's heed. I spoke, and people listened. I had an aura. But the firing acted like a powerful solvent, dissolving everything I thought I was. Soon after losing my job, I attended one of these meetups, and it was like I had walked in cloaked in an invisible field of obnoxiousness. It hadn't changed, but their perception of me had. I tried to talk, to offer perspective, but my words had lost all wisdom. My voice, once authoritative, now simply faded into the general background chatter. My presence, once magnetic, now seemed to repel. I was no longer treated with distinction, I was tolerated. The same people who would once defer to me now actively looked over my shoulder for someone more interesting, someone more successful. And it wasn't just my old classmates. Even my neighbors and relatives who once sought my advice as if I were a modern oracle, begging for guidance on their children's future study line, now found me utterly boring to talk with. They had nothing to gain from me, so I became irrelevant. The final lesson: respect is rented, not owned. 4 non-negotiable rules for surviving your rock bottom. The fall was agonizing, but it became my greatest teacher. So here is my simple advice for you to survive your bad days, to navigate the hypocrisy, and to emerge stronger than before. 1. Never uninvitedly visit the past. I'm repeating this because it's vital. Never uninvitedly visit your old company or workstation. Don't chase ghosts of glory. Your spirit needs healing, not the confirmation that you are now replaceable. Protect your peace. 2. Embrace emotional bulletproofing. You must train yourself to be insensitive to your social circle's attitude in your hard time. Their abandonment is about their fear of failure, not about your worth. See their silence as useful information, not a personal judgment. 3. Silence is golden. Do not give unasked advice to anyone in your hard days. Your currency is devalued and your wisdom will be dismissed. Save your energy. Wait until your position of strength is restored. 4. The ultimate life hack. Abolish expectation. This is the most important rule. Never expect gratitude from those with whom you once have been kind. This is the source of the deepest, most shocking pain. It hurts most when the very people you lifted up now ignore you in your hard days. You must accept that kindness is its own reward, and any expectation of a return favor is a guarantee of heartbreak. The only investment that matters: financial freedom. And finally, my concluding piece of wisdom, the single most important pivot you can make in your mindset: stop worrying about public attitude. Stop trying to gauge how people look at you. Instead, pay heed in finding new ways of earning. Stop trying to fix their perception and start fixing your bank account. Because here's the undeniable truth. Once your financial status gets improved, it will automatically change the way people look at you. It's a sad reality, but a powerful millionaire mindset to adopt. And success is the only language the world truly respects. I have fallen far. I got fired from the director's job, and I am now literally at the level down of a delivery boy's job. But my struggle is not a waste. Every hard moment is a lesson. I am giving you the cheat sheet, the inside track, so you can have my experience without any cost of your loss and hurting. This is how you build financial freedom and true resilience. Thank you for listening to my confession. The journey continues, and I have so much more to share. Stay tuned and keep listening.